So what I suggest from the whole perspective of this pipeline and workflow is to take out a piece of paper and say, new connection, what do I want to happen? I want a welcome email sent. Well, then what? And how long? And decide ahead of time before diving into the software what you want that cycle to look like. That little bit of planning will go so far to keep you not getting overwhelmed once you get into the software. And, of course, if you need help, reach out to Shaf and his team, and I'm sure they would schedule a time to help you get this set up. The most important part is the planning. So if you
Suzanne,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, would it help if I showed an example of a live one that I have running for my own stuff?
Yeah, that would be great.
So I have a few different triggers for mine. Just to give a little bit of background, I'm running ads on TikTok for my affiliate course. And so I have the triggers set to someone filling out a form on TikTok directly. I have another form on my landing page that I've created. So depending on whether or not they actually fill it directly on TikTok or navigate to my landing page, I have both of those all three of those set up as triggers. So what happens after that is that it creates an opportunity in my pipeline. It then adds a tag to the contact saying that this person is a new affiliate. The pipeline is showing that they opted in, and then it basically triggers a sequence of emails and text messages. So first off, it texts them or emails them a welcome email saying, welcome to our program. Here's the next steps that you need to do. It then sends them a text message as well. And then it also notifies my team. So it emails myself, my virtual assistant, and then just a generic inbox. It also texts me directly saying, hey, this person signed up. And then it waits 30 minutes to assign a task to my virtual assistant as well. So that's basically a very simple automation. If you want to get really granular, I have another one. Let's see. This one here gets a little granular in terms of, there's a lot of if-then statements, basically saying if an opportunity is sat in the pipeline for more than 2 days, that would trigger them a text message saying, hey there, just curious, are you still interested in this? And then it'll ask them to wait 6 hours. And then depending on whether that person responded, if they didn't respond, I'll send them one last ditch text or last attempt, and then wait for a response. And then if it did respond, depending on their intent, whether it was a positive intent, it'll say like, great, thanks for letting us know. This isn't what we need from you. Or if they say no, then okay, no worries, thanks for letting us know. And it puts them into a different nurture sequence saying they're not interested right now. So that's a little bit more granular. You can get really complex with whether someone responds, how they respond, etc. So that's just a little glimpse into what's possible with it.
I actually have a question.
Cool.
When you split it, when you say lead reply, how is it measuring a reply?
So are you asking about this one, like what the intent of it?
No, like right above that, when it splits, what is the reply? They comment something, they check something, they click something. What's possible there?
So basically, I sent this text message out, and it's waiting specifically for a response to that text message. So it has to be on that same channel. Okay. And then from there, it's judging it as yes, no. Did they reply? Yes. Then it goes to this branch. If they did not reply, then it goes to that branch. And then on the next one, you can also judge intent. It's using AI, but basically you're judging either as a positive or yes intent or negative/no intent.
Okay. So. How about with email? Is it possible if you send, some sort of email, is it possible to say if they click the link in the email here, if they didn't click here?
Yes. So
okay.
Yeah. So you can do with SMS. It's pretty simple because it's either they responded or they didn't. Versus with email, there's a lot more that you can do. Whether they opened it, whether they responded to it, whether they clicked on something. You can get I can have like 6 different branches and say, okay, if they got the message but didn't open it, I'm going to resend something very similar. If they opened it but didn't respond or click, I'm going to send them something saying, hey, just wanted to check, like, are you interested in this? If they clicked on the link but didn't book an appointment with you on the landing page, you follow up saying, hey, you must have forgot to actually actually book an appointment. So you can get very specific with the follow-up that they would receive, depending on what their action was.
Yeah, that's really helpful for those of us who are, following up with people via email, whether it's after an event or after a discovery call. I think that'll be really helpful.
Yeah, and it just streamlines things where you're not having to do things really manually. And then I know you for the birthday text part, you mentioned reaching out to them 4 days before, and you want it to be personalized. Another thing that you can do is there's custom values where you can actually have their name populated here without you having to type it out. So that way it seems even more personal because you're actually using their first name in the text.
Yeah, and that goes to how much information are you actually collecting at the beginning? Are you collecting name of company, maybe the town where they're located? I know for me, I have 3 appearances coming up, 2 in May and 1 in June, and I know people in those towns. So if I had collected, their address or at least their town, I could send an email out to just those people who lived in that, 50-mile radius. Hey, I'm going to be in your town. So that's a good reminder to really think about the information you want to collect on your discovery call form, your prospect form, and even your opt-in.
I have just a quick question. This is all very exciting, and I want to get into my Go High Level and learn this. On a scale from 1 to 5, like what you showed us, Shaf, with the more granular, how difficult would you say that is for us to do ourselves? Because it looks involved.
I mean, for this, I would say like 1 to 5 is probably like a 3, like a 2, 3. The main things are just kind of figuring out your if-then statements, like what do you want the triggers and the branches to be, and then from there, um, what the next steps would be. So this is probably like a 2 or a 3, and then on this one, I would say this is a 1 because there's no deviation. It's just one branch. So,
Okay.
and then the cool thing is that again, you have the recipes available. You have the recipes available. And then on Lead Buddy, you also have access to our live chat support. So if you have questions, you can always go in there and say, hey, I really want help building this automation out. I'd like this to be like the different sequences. And they'll actually be able to go into your account and see what workflow you're working through and kind of help you build those out. So.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you.